The only people who don't want to disclose the truth are people with something to hide.
1501H or 3962 IH12 provide resources that will reduce disparities in access to appropriate diagnosis, assessment, 3 and treatment. 4F grants and contracts. The Secretary may 5th make awards of grants, cooperative agreements, and contracts to public agencies and private non-profit organizations 7 tons to assist with the development and implementation 8 of the public awareness campaign under this section. 9G evaluation and report. Not later than the 10th end of fiscal year 2012, the Secretary shall prepare and 11 submit to the Congress a report evaluating the effectiveness of the public awareness campaign under this section. 13. In educating the general public with respect to the matters 14 described in subsection B. 15H authorization and appropriations. For 16 purposes of carrying out this section, there are authorized 17 to be appropriated $2 million for fiscal year 2011 and $4 million for each of fiscal years 2012 and 2015. 19 Subtitle Seafood and Drug 20 Administration 21 Part 1 and General 22 Seconds 2571. National Medical Device Registry. 23 A registry. 1502H or 3962 IH1, 1 in general. Section 519 of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act 21 U.S.C. 360 is 3 amended 4A by redesignating subsection G, as sub 5 section H, and 6B by inserting after subsection F the 7 following. 8 National Medical Device Registry. 9G1A The Secretary shall establish a National 10 Medical Device Registry in this subsection referred to as 11 the registry to facilitate analysis of post-market safety 12 and outcomes data on each covered device. 13B In this subsection, the term covered device 14I shall include each Class 3 device, and 15EI may include, as the Secretary determines 16 appropriate and specifies in regulation, a Class 2 to 17 device, that is life-supporting or life-sustaining. 18C Notwithstanding subparagraph BI, the sections 19 Rotary may by order exempt a Class 3 device from the 20 provisions of this subsection, if the Secretary concludes 21, that inclusion of information on the device in the registry 22 will not provide useful information on safety or effective 23ness. 24.2 In developing the registry, the Secretary shall, 25 in consultation with the Commissioner of Food and Drugs, 1503H or 3962 IH1 the Administrator of the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid 2 Services, the Administrator of the Agency for Health Care 3 Research and Quality, the Head of the Office of the NA 4 Tunnel Coordinator for Health Information Technology, 5 and the Secretary of Veterans Affairs, determine the best 6 methods for 7A including in the registry. In a manner consistent with subsection F, appropriate information 9 to identify each covered device by type, model, and 10 serial number or other unique identifier. 11B Validating methods for analyzing patient 12 safety and outcomes data from multiple sources and 13 for linking such data with the information included 14 in the registry, as described in subparagraph A, in 15 including, to the extent feasible, use of 16I data provided to the Secretary under 17 other provisions of this chapter, and 18EI information from public and private 19 sources identified under paragraph 3. 20C Integrating the activities described in this 21 subsection so as to avoid duplication with 22I activities under paragraph 3 of sections 23 to 505K relating to active post-market risk 24 Identification 1504H or 3962 IH1EI activities under paragraph 4 of sections 2 to 505K relating to advanced analysis of 3 drug safety data. 4 EEI Other post-market device surveillance 5 Activities of the Secretary authorized by this 6th chapter, and 7 I registries carried out by or for the 8 Agency for Health Care Research and Quality, 9 and 10 D providing public access to the data and 11 analysis collected or developed through the registry 12 in a manner and form that protects patient privacy. 13 and proprietary information and is comprehensive. 14 useful, and not misleading to patients, physicians, 15 and scientists. 16.3a to facilitate analyses of post-market safety. 17 and patient outcomes for covered devices. The Secretary 18 shall, in collaboration with public, academic, and private 19 entities, develop methods to 20 obtain access to disparate sources of 21 patient safety and outcomes data, including 22 federal health-related electronic 23 data, such as data from the Medicare Pro 24-gram under Title 18 of the Social Secu-1505H or 3962 IH1RD Act or from the health systems of the 2 Department of Veterans Affairs, 3 private sector health-related for electronic data, such as pharmaceutical 5 purchase data and health insurance claims 6 data, and 7 other data, as the Secretary 8 deems necessary to permit post-market as 9 assessment of device safety and effectiveness, 10 and 11 EI-link data obtained under Clause I-12 with the information in the registry. 13b in this paragraph, the term data refers to in 14 information respecting a covered device, including claims 15 data, patient survey data, standardized analytic files, that 16 allow for the pulling and analysis of data from disparate 17 data environments, electronic health records, and any 18 other data deemed appropriate by the Secretary. 19 for the Secretary shall promulgate regulations for 20 establishment and operation of the registry under Para 21 Graph 1. Such regulations 22ai in the case of covered devices, that are 23 sold on or after the date of the enactment of this 24 subsection, shall require manufacturers of such 25 devices, to submit information to the registry, include -1506H or 3962 IH1ing, for each such device, the type, model, and serial to number or, if required under subsection F, other 3 unique device identifier, and for EI in the case of covered devices that are sold 5 before such date, may require manufacturers of such 6 devices, to submit such information to the registry. 7. If deemed necessary by the Secretary to protect the 8 public health. 9b shall establish procedures 10i, to permit linkage of information sub-11 omitted pursuant to subparagraph A with PA 12 ton safety and outcomes data obtained under 13 paragraph 3, and 14ei to permit analyses of linked data. 15c may require covered device manufacturer 16, to submit such other information as is necessary to 17 facilitate post-market assessments of device safety 18 and effectiveness and notification of device risks. 19d shall establish requirements for regular 20 and timely reports to the Secretary, which shall be 21 included in the registry, concerning adverse event 22 trends, adverse event patterns, incidents and PRIVA 23 lots of adverse events, and other information the 24 Secretary determines appropriate, which may include 1507H or 3962 IH1 data on comparative safety and outcomes trends. 2 and 3e shall establish procedures to permit public for access to the information in the registry in a manner 5 and form that protects patient privacy and proprietary information and is comprehensive, useful, and 7 not misleading to patients, physicians, and C8 entists. 9.5a the Secretary shall promulgate final regulations under paragraph 4 not later than 36 months after 11 the date of the enactment of this subsection. 12b before issuing the notice of proposed Rule 13 making preceding the final regulations described in sub 14 paragraph A, the Secretary shall hold a public hearing 15, before an advisory committee on the issue of which Class 16(2) devices, to include in the definition of covered devices. 17c the Secretary shall include in any regulation 18 under this subsection an explanation demonstrating that 19 the requirements of such regulation 20i do not duplicate other federal require 21 ments, and 22ei do not impose an undue burden on device 23 manufacturers. 24(6) with respect to any entity that submits or is 25 required to submit a safety report or other information 1508H or 3962IH1 in connection with the safety of a device under this Section 2 and any release by the Secretary of that report or in 43 Matin, such report or information shall not be construed to reflect necessarily a conclusion by the entity or the Seconds 5 Retary, that the report or information constitutes an admissix that the product involved malfunction, caused or 7 contributed to an adverse experience, or otherwise caused 8 or contributed to a death, serious injury, or serious illness. 9. Such an entity need not admit, and may deny, that the 10 report or information submitted by the entity constitutes 11 an admission that the product involved malfunction, 12 caused or contributed to an adverse experience, or caused 13 or contributed to a death, serious injury, or serious illness. 14.7 To carry out this subsection, there are author 15 is to be appropriated such sums as may be necessary 16 for each of fiscal years 2011 and 2012. 17. To effective date. The Secretary of 18 Health and Human Services shall establish, and 19 begin implementation of the registry under Section 20, 519G of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic 21 Act, as added by Paragraph 1, by not later than 22 the date, that is 36 months after the date of the N23 enactment of this Act, without regard to whether or 24 not final regulations to establish and operate the 25 registry have been promulgated by such date. 1509H or 3962IH1, 3 Conforming Amendment. Section 2, 303F1BI of the Federal Food, Drug, and 3 Cosmetic Act 21 U.S.C. 333F1BI is amended for it by striking 519G, and inserting 519H. 5B Electronic exchange and use in certified 6 Electronic health records of unique device 7 IDENTIFIERS. 8. 1 Recommendations. The HIT Policy 9 Committee established under Section 3002 of the 10 Public Health Service Act 42 U.S.C. 300JJ12, 11 shall recommend to the head of the Office of the NOT 12 Tunnel Coordinator for Health Information Tech 13 Knowledge Standards, implementation specifications, and 14 certification criteria for the electronic exchange and 15 use and certified electronic health records of a unique 16 device identifier for each covered device, as defined 17 under Section 519G1B of the Federal Food, 18 Drug, and Cosmetic Act, as added by subsection 19A. 20. 2 Standards, implementation criteria, 21 and certification criteria. The Secretary of 22 Health and Human Services, acting through the 23 head of the Office of the National Coordinator for 24 Health Information Technology, shall adopt Stand 25 ARDS, implementation specifications, and certification 1510H or 3962IH1 criteria for the electronic exchange and use in certified electronic health records of a unique device 3 identifier for each covered device referred to in paragraph 1, if such an identifier is required by Section 519F of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act 6. 21 U.S.C. 360 IF for the device. 7C Unique Device Identification System. The 8th Secretary of Health and Human Services, acting through 9 the Commissioner of Food and Drugs, shall issue proposed 10 regulations to implement Section 519F of the Federal 11 Food, Drug, and Cosmetic Act 21 U.S.C. 360 IF not 12 later than 6 months after the date of the enactment of 13 this Act. 14 seconds 2570. Nutrition labeling of standard menu 15 items at chain restaurants and of R16 tickles of food sold from vending ma 17 chines. 18 technical amendments. Section 19, 403Q5A of the Federal Food, Drug, and Cosmetic 20 Act 21 U.S.C. 343Q5A is amended 21, 1 in subclause I, by inserting except as Pro 22 vided in clause HEI 3, after I. and 23, 2 in subclause EI, by inserting except as 24 provided in clause HEI 3, after EI.
If there's a blue pill and a red pill, and the blue pill is half the price of the red pill and works just as well, why not pay half price?